I was an owl, and I was always awake at night because I thought that I didn't like the sun. She was too bright and ravishing for me even to regard. I knew my eyes would have been burnt had I tried to glance at her. So I was allured by the moon, because I believed that she had an exquisite light that was bright enough to blaze the way that I audaciously enjoyed, but was refined enough to fail the way that I desired to avoid. She would never tell me why, but she was gone for a day or two every month, which made me care about her even more. And I was happy when she'd come back. But I was wrong. I confused fragility with her manipulability. She was able to adorn herself only because she used the sun. I was in the polar night so long that I couldn't even impress upon myself that I was in the night, and that she had the abusive light. The light that was so notorious that it befogged the way that I had to confront, but was so slight that it conspired the world on which I relied. I believed that I needed her and would need her to live only because I was engulfed by the tenacious darkness and she was the only light. Every time I tried to wade through the adhesive darkness, she captivated me in a place in which the light illuminated, in the night in which the moon acted deceitfully. But I knew she would betray me again, so one day, the day the moon was gone, that the feet had not been a perfect night. I stayed up so late that I saw the dawn, the most divine and beautiful sight my eyes had ever beheld. When she showed her whole face and smiled, my eyes were blinded by the sunlight, but all of my limbs were embraced with tight warmth. I felt as though I were reborn, a revival from the night in which I was smothered by the moon. Although the contrast of the temperature was unforgettable, my skin was so vivacious that I hardly remember how cold the night was. I was blinded by the sun, but I didn't care, because I knew she would never betray me as the moon used to do. The sun would rise up every single morning. Of course, there were some days when she wouldn't be as delighted as usual and hide upon clouds and cry, but it was way brighter than the nights when I'd spent with the moon. Every time she stopped crying, she realized how much cried upon my shoulder and she would always color, making an intangibly immaculate bow upon her atmosphere. When the irises in my eyes got used to the brightness of her smile, I realized that she couldn't even see me. She was so blindingly pretentious that she was mesmerizing me propitiously from afar, but she couldn't even see herself or know how exquisite she was. But I needed to tell her, so I slept yesterday night not to see the moon again, and now I'm not an owl but an albatross flying to the sun. My feathers start to ignite, but I do not care even should I be burned to death, as long as there is hope that I will meet her, because I know that I have escaped from the night, and I am protected by the sunlight.